Down with this sort of thing. Careful now.
What is up everybody and welcome back to another video. In today's video we're going to take a deep dive into my FPL team for game week 1 of the 23-24 FPL season. Due to the eventful end of pre-season which saw both Jesus and Nkunku pick up injuries, I've made a 3-5-2 draft which I believe can be optimal as we head into the new season. So without further ado, let's get into it. Let's begin with the last line of defence. Since the middle of last season, Jason Steele from Brighton has emerged as their starting goalkeeper and has been impressing with some crucial saves. Brighton's defence has been reliable, so Steele could be a smart budget-friendly choice between the posts. Other options which are worth considering for the goalkeeper slot include Onana of United or Sam Johnstone from Crystal Palace. Now let's talk about our defensive lineup. Trent Alexander-Arnold is a no-brainer, a top-tier fullback who can change the game with his crossing and set-piece abilities. Whilst Trent may indeed be a no-brainer, it is important to mention that Trent has been playing as a fixture in pre-season games, and also that Liverpool's defence has looked shaky in recent matches. This does create a slight issue as it would limit his attacking output. However, I don't think it's a big enough issue to prevent you from owning Trent from the start of the season. Next up we have Luke Shaw, the Manchester United left back who is easily one of the most popular defensive options for this season. Shaw's marauding runs and defensive contributions make him a viable asset in both attack and defence. Whether he's playing left back or left centre back, Shaw is an exceptional FPL pick. Ben White, the talented Arsenal defender, has shown promise with his ball playing skills and ability to contribute to clean sheets. Arsenal's defensive form seems to be on the rise, which bodes well for White's FPL potential. The decision between going for White or the cheaper Zinchenko is certainly a tricky decision. Whilst I'm currently on White, don't be surprised if I make the switch before the deadline. Moving on to the midfield, we have a mix of creativity and flair. Jack Grealish, the Man City star, has been a consistent performer with his dribbling and goal scoring abilities. Now that he's found his feet at Man City, I'm expecting a big season from Jack, who is bound to be involved in the majority of Erling Haaland's goals this season. Phil Foden, however, is a possible replacement for Jack and is a move I'm considering making as we edge closer to the deadline. Gabriel Martinelli, the young Arsenal sensation, has been a revelation since his arrival. His energy, speed and eye for goal make him an exciting prospect for FPL managers looking for a differential. If you had seen my previous draft, you would have known that I'd decided to go for Martinelli over Saka. However, due to the Jesus injury, I'm now most likely going to line up with both Martinelli and Saka in my starting 11 for game week 1. Not only does owning Saka mean I can triple up on the Arsenal assets, but it also allows me to heavily target their opening fixture against Forest, who recently conceded 5 goals to Rennes in a pre-season game. I would almost argue that having 2 Arsenal mids is now essential due to Jesus' injury. The fourth midfield slot is again where we have another change, and that is because I have replaced Mitoma with Brentford's Mbeumo. With Ivan Toney missing, Mbeumo is leading the Brentford attack and is also on penalties. Having performed well during pre-season, I'm starting to feel more confident with owning Mbeumo over Mitoma. Whilst Mitoma is a great 6.5 million midfielder, I would argue his output may not match that of Mbeumo's this season due to the given circumstances. Mitoma's playstyle was also fresh and hard to predict last season, but this may no longer be the case as defenders begin to adapt. Lastly, we have the midfield maestro and new captain of Manchester United, Bruno Fernandes. With his set pieces, goals and assists, Bruno is a staple in many FPL teams. Manchester United's attack runs through him, so expect plenty of points. Up front we have an exciting duo. Erling Haaland, the goal machine, his incredible goal scoring record and aerial threat make him a must have, but be cautious of price fluctuations. Now that Haaland is priced at 14 million, managers may be unsure whether he is a must have in our FPL teams. However, it's as simple as this: if you want to do the best you possibly can during this FPL season, then Haaland is a must own player no matter what. Prior to recording this video, I had Gabriel Jesus in my team as a set and forget for the first 2 game weeks. However, following confirmation that Jesus has been left out of Arsenal's last pre-season game due to a knee injury, I've been forced to consider other options. One of the main options I have is to own Nkunku or Jackson from the outset rather than bringing them in game week 3. Based on current pre-season form, it may not be the worst idea to own either of these assets for Chelsea's game against Liverpool in game week 1. However, with Nkunku going off injured during Chelsea's final pre-season game, it's looking more and more likely that I will own Jackson from the start of the season. Now let's take a look at our bench options. First on my bench for game week 1, we have Brighton's Evan Ferguson with an enticing fixture against Luton at home. In my previous drafts, I've had Ferguson starting in a 3-4-3 lineup. However, due to the rotation risk of Brighton's forwards, as well as the continued form of Mbeumo, I've decided to move him to the bench. As we edge closer to the game week 1 deadline, I may bring Ferguson back into the starting lineup, or even replace him with Brighton's record signing João Pedro, who may be more nailed this season. Certainly one to keep an eye on before the deadline. Levi Colwill and Ben Chilwell from Chelsea are the other 2 outfield players on the bench. With Levi Colwill at 4.5 million and seemingly nailed in Chelsea's backline, he's an extremely exciting asset to own. Not only is Colwill a machine defensively, but he's also a real attacking threat due to his impressive aerial ability. At only 4.5 million and without many other appealing Chelsea assets, Colwill is a great budget asset with great fixtures from game week 2 onwards. Owning Ben Chilwell over Reece James is certainly a head over heart decision. Whilst James has proved his quality time and time again, it would not be unfair to say he isn't at his usual level just yet. The current system Pochettino is using also seems to weaken Reece's attacking ability whilst boosting Chilwell's. At least once a game, Chilwell seems to get into a great attacking position. Due to what I've seen so far, I do believe Chilwell is the better option over RJ. Mateusz Sarkic of Wolves is a goalkeeper sub, providing additional cover in case of injuries or suspensions to our starting goalkeeper. There you have it, my second FPL draft for game week 1 of the 23-24 FPL season. Whilst this team is almost fully locked, it is likely that I may swap out a couple of players as we get closer to the deadline. In order to stay up to date with any changes that are made, make sure to follow me on Twitter at fplfatherted and also tune into the deadline stream, which will be live each week an hour before the deadline of the game week. I'd love to hear your thoughts on my team and your picks for this FPL season in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, please do smash the like button, subscribe and hit the notification bell for more FPL content. Thanks for watching and good luck.
Shut me out.